Before I present myself, I would like to enlighten my audience on how the preparation for this fieldwork exercise was being carried out. We had a pre-lecture that was focused on soil characteristics in the class with the student, and we had a pre-fieldwork test on the studying side. Materials were being assembled and preparation for food and drinks were being put together. This was followed by the distribution of data collecting sheet for the students to represent their data. What I'm doing now is to distribute the data collecting sheets to the various students. I'm distributing the data collecting sheet to the students. Seems as if the data collecting sheet will not be enough. The other students, you are advised to pair your work together. Just excuse me. This one is for the Lightning Manager. This copy is for the teacher. We are moving out right to sample point. Good morning to dear students. Good morning to the colleagues of the noble profession. I am a servant of God and also a geography teacher. We are here on the hill slope of Bamenshi in Banja subdivision to carry out the field work. But before we move and we go ahead to start this study, the title of our field work is Soil Profile. I would not like to go directly on soil profile without going on the soil. The soil itself is the uppermost layer of the earth crust on which plant grow and animal live, which is derived from the breakdown of rock by the influence of microorganisms and climatic elements. The soil profile is the vertical cross-sectional layer of the soil that is measured from the earth's surface beneath down to the parent rock. It is worth noting that the soil profile is being divided into four main horizons. We have what we call the A horizons, we have what we call the B horizons, we have what we call the C horizons, and we have what we call the D horizons. The A horizon is the topsoil layer, which is made up of three sub-layers. We have the litter layer, we have the fermentation layer, and we have the humus layer. The B horizon is the subsoil. The D horizon comprises of the weathered rock. It is also known as a mineral layer. And we have the D horizons, which comprise of a fresh rock that is awaiting for weathering to take place. The location, I repeat, is hill slope at Bamenshi, located in Banja subdivision precisely. latitude 5 degree 27 seconds and longitude 10 degree 25 seconds west. We are here at our first sample points. But before we go directly to explain on this, I would like my audience to listen to the aim of this study. We are here to investigate how the depth of the A horizon varies with an increasing altitude along the slope transit, or to investigate the thickness of the organic matter and its variation along the slope transit. What is our hypothesis? The question before I will give our hypothesis, I would like to throw light on hypothesis. Hypothesis is a scientific statement that needs to be verified. At the end of it, it can be true or it can be false. So our hypothesis of this study is the depth of A horizon reduced significantly as we move up the slope transit. The depth of A horizon reduced significantly with an increase in altitude, which is a height. Preparation is the next step, and our equipment is also important for my audience. We have a dig axe and a spade. The role played by a dig axe is to dig the ground. The role played by the spade is to scrape the ground to expose the A horizon. We equally have the measuring tape, and the role of the measuring tape here is to measure the depth of the A horizon at our first sample point, which is A. Students will be distributed with a recording sheet, and the function of the recording sheet is for students to take down reliable information. The recording sheet is used for data collection that will be analyzed in the class. In this study, we equally use altimeter. The role of the altimeter is to enable us to know the height of the place above sea level. We equally use a base map to extract the site map of the area. Use a base map to extract the site map of the area, and we are going to move directly on the method that will continue. Alright, we are moving up the slope of the mountain, and where we are after an interval of 100 meters, we have identified our sample point B here. At our sample point B, the altitude is 1,293, while the first altitude at sample point A was 1,272. What we realize here is that as we move up the slope, there is an increase in height. The same process must be repeated. We use a dig axe, which is used, and a spade to scrape scrape the ground in order to expose the A horizon. But it's something which is very important here. One of the greatest problems that we face here is, at one point in time, it became very difficult to identify the A horizon. That is one of the major problems we face in this field work. But how do we solve this problem? Students are advised to consider the root limits of the vegetation to be the A horizon. Thank you. We are moving ahead right to sample point C. Alright, we are at the last sample point. That is the sample point C. We have decided to choose 100-meter interval from one sample point to another. And our height here is 1,301 meter. This is the sample point C. The whole process was repeated. After digging, scraping of the A horizon, the measurement we arrived at 15 centimeters. So from here, you are going to follow me to the classroom situation where we are going to analyze this data.
Sir, please, I have a question. What if we arrive at a certain point and we continue digging the ground? And when we dig the ground, it's very difficult for us to differentiate or to identify between the A and the B horizon. What are we going to do?
That is a very good question. That is a very good question. You deserve an applause. When you dig the ground and it became very difficult to identify the A horizon from the B horizon, it is a problem. But how can we solve this problem? We solve this problem by considering the root limits. You have seen this is the ground. Are you seeing?
Yes, sir.
Are you seeing the ground?
Yes, sir.
You see where the root limit of this vegetation. So we are going to measure the part from the surface right to the root limit of this vegetation. We are going to classify it as the A horizon. From that root limit going down, it is what the B horizon, and it can extend right up to the C horizon and the D horizon. Is that clear?
Yes,
sir. Right, thank you.
Please say, I'm not that clear how someone can measure the thickness of the horizon.
All right, it is a question. This is the tape, and we said in the pre-lecture in the class that we use the tape in the course of measurement. I want you to understand here that the tape has two graduations. When we look at this tape, I can point out that it has been graduated into centimeter and inches. So you can choose centimeter and you measure. It's something very simple. Just like you use your ruler in the class to measure something either in centimeter or in inches. This is how you place. This is how you place. Have you seen this line here? Have you seen this number 1?
Yes, sir.
Number 2?
Yes, sir.
Have you seen a bigger gap?
Yes, sir.
That is inches. We are not going to measure using what? The inches. We measure using what? The centimeter. And in the course of measurement, we make sure that our measurement starts from 0, because 0 is also a number. So when you start from 0, like for example, you measure from here to here is 10. Have you seen it?
Yes, sir.
From here to here is 10. We have now 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. And that is why in our third sample point, the measurement was 15. Have you understood?
Yes, sir.
All right, thank you. Any other question to be added?
Yes, sir. I have a worry. Before this field work, I saw a question that talked about the type of data collected in the field.
Before I will answer, I would like to know whether there's another question again.
Yes, sir. I have a worry. I wanted to know if method is the same as procedure. If yes, please can you enlighten us on the method?
Thank you. I am going to analyze on your question one after another. These are good questions, and I will begin by answering the first question. The type of data that is collected in a fieldwork depends on the topic of the fieldwork. For example, our own topic was soil profile, and the data that we went to collect in the field was the altitude at each sample point and the depth of a horizon at each sample point. I don't know whether you understand me.
Yes, sir.
We now move directly to point. We move directly now to question number 2. With question number 2, I would like you to understand that method, procedure, and how the fieldwork was carried out is one and the same thing. With the method, we got a base map to extract the map of the site where the fieldwork was carried out. Thereafter, the students were being put into group of 4, and each group, a leader was chosen to coordinate the group. We marked out our sample point at a distance of 100 meter. Mark our sample point at a distance of 100 meter intervals. Thereafter, we have the following equipments. We have a dig axe, which we use to dig a hole on the ground. We have a spade, which we use to scrape the soil in order to expose the A horizon. Thereafter, we use a tape. And a tape is to measure the depth of a horizon or to measure the thickness of the organic matter. We equally use the altimeter. We equally use the altimeter to permit us to obtain the altitude at each sample point or the height at each sample point. Thereafter, we proceeded by recording our information in the data collecting sheet. I don't know who is listening to me now, but if this piece of work enlightens you in any way, then I will tell you to do a favor to me by subscribing. You either subscribe or you drop a comment in our YouTube channel. God bless you. Thank you.